Editing in a movie is one of the foundations of cinematic grammar, linking scenes with transitions and combining short moments with montages. But sometimes a film doesn't have any editing, or at least it doesn't appear to. In 2014, Birdman astonished audiences with the way it was shot, appearing to be shot all in one take without any cuts. This one-shot approach has been done in other movies, but not as cleanly and effectively as it was done in Birdman. In this video, I'm going to look at how Birdman accomplishes this technique, the effect it has on the feeling of the film, and how other films have attempted similar editing techniques. Birdman released in 2014 and was immediately noteworthy due to the film appearing to be shot all in one take. The film actually uses a lot of hidden cuts involving something passing in front of the camera like this scene,
You are the original man.
or the camera whipping quickly to hide a cut like in this scene. The film is still amazing even after you know how the movie magic works, and it went on to do well at the Oscars that year, winning Best Picture and Best Director. The technical accomplishments of this film are amazing, both in the way it hides all of its edits in a way that's hard to notice even after the first watch, and the way the soundtrack flows seamlessly with the non-stop pace of the film, adding a constant uneasiness.
Let's go. Walk.
The energy of the whole film is frantic and chaotic, reflecting the life of Michael Keaton's character, and this is mainly achieved through the editing that makes the film appear like it's shot in one take. This editing style means that the pace of the film is constantly moving and there's never a chance to breathe, similar to how Keaton's character is overwhelmed throughout the film. Nothing is hidden from the camera. It doesn't cut after a conversation ends, the energy just lingers and the audience holds their breath as the tension either slowly dissipates or is interrupted by another tense moment. On the other side of this chaos is the increased intimacy afforded by the constant presence of the camera. The audience is always following one character or a conversation or viewing a character alone before being interrupted, and the result of this is that the film contains a number of subtle personal character moments that would be cut in other big-name films. This editing gives the slow burn character development of slower films, but keeps the audience engaged like faster-paced films. This free-flowing editing style surprisingly allows for more dynamic pacing than traditional film editing. Beyond just the frenetic intimacy, the one-take style replicates the form of a play within the film itself, mirroring how Keaton's character is shifting from a career in acting to a role in a play. This editing style was impressive on a technical level and does so much for the style and themes of the film, taking an achievement first realized in 1948 and transforming it to make something classic. As much as Birdman was impressive and critically acclaimed, it wasn't the first film to attempt the one-shot style. The first feature-length film to achieve the style of being shot in one take was Alfred Hitchcock's film Rope in 1948. Hitchcock's intent was to style the film after the play that it was based on, and as such didn't want the cameras to ever cut. However, technical limitations of the time meant that the cameras could only film about 10 minutes at a time, so hidden cuts were a necessity to hide the changing of the film reels. The most common cut in Rope involves the camera pushing into the back of somebody's suit, cutting, and then pulling back to start a new take, which has been disguised to the audience. The effect of this technique is twofold. Most directly, it makes the film feel like a play, paying homage to its source material and impressing audiences on the technical level. It also makes the central element of the film, the dead body hidden in the room, more prominent because people are actively moving around it for 80 minutes. To have a hard cut would give the audience breathing room, and the tension of a dead body lying undiscovered would be lost. In this way, Rope takes a similar feeling to Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Telltale Heart. There's this level of tension that arrives when a murderer, his victim, and unknowing people are all in the same room, especially when you could be found out at any moment. Rope plays up this dynamic for dramatic tension and dark humor, with the chest that the body is hidden in being used as a centerpiece for a party. By not having any hard cuts, it always feels like someone is just on the edge of discovering the hidden body. The chest is always in view, always lingering in the audience's perception, creating an amazing feeling of tension and dread that can only be accomplished with this seamless one-shot visual style. There have been several other films, big and small, that have attempted the challenge of filming a movie in one shot, and one of these films is 1917. It follows two men as they race against time along the western front of World War I to deliver a message. The film is always following these two men, and the one-shot style makes this even more impactful, because for 2 hours you follow these two men and their struggles without cutting away. Rather than just making the film chaotic like in Birdman or stressful like in Rope, the one-shot style makes 1917 very intimate, allowing the audience to feel what World War I messengers would have felt. It also makes the scale of the film feel much more epic, where a lot of one-shot films are set within a series of interiors or even exclusively one room. 1917 is exclusively outdoors, and everything is shot in a different location during the journey, so as an audience, you see the scale of the landscape unfold in front of you. In my opinion, the one shot in 1917 isn't as impactful emotionally as the one shot in Birdman or Rope. It's more impressive from a technical level because there aren't as many interiors to hide edits, but the actual style doesn't sway me the way these other films did. It leaves the pacing sort of loose, and it doesn't have the immediate tension of Rope or the chaos of the soundtrack from Birdman to pick up the slack. It's not a bad film, and it's certainly a technical achievement, but it's also not the best to attempt the technique. Editing is an important part of the filmmaking process, but sometimes it isn't what montages and flashing editing tricks you use, but rather how you hide the editing to make the other aspects of the film shine. All three of these movies do that to some extent, and it's incredibly impressive from a technical perspective. There are also some films, like Russian Ark, that were legitimately filmed in one continuous take with minor editing to remove cast and crew members. No matter how the seamlessness is created, it's a fascinating use of the medium that can really enhance how a story is told and felt by the audience. Birdman is my favorite of the one-shot movies, and I'm curious to know what you think about it, so let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more videos talking about movies every other week.